You open your eyes to the endless sky of the steppe. The horizon stretches without end, a rolling ocean of grass, pale and shimmering under the touch of the wind. You are lying on your back, wrapped in a thin felt blanket, the earth beneath you firm, cool, alive. Around you, the murmurs of the camp are soft but steady. A goat bleating for its kid. The quiet huff of horses, and the faint metallic rattle of a pot being set above a low fire. It is early, though time feels different here. The sun has only begun to rise, a sliver of light breaking across the flat land. Pale gold spills across the plain, warming the tents in slow degrees. You breathe deeply, the air sharp, touched with the faint scent of dung smoke from the night's embers. You are not Mongol-born. You were not raised in this sea of grass. Your life once belonged to the West, to a village where houses had walls of clay and streets pressed tight against each other. But that feels far away now, as though it were part of another life. Here you are among the Mongols, though you do not belong to them, not yet. The steppe is quiet in the morning, but it is not safe. Beyond the horizon, the world is shifting. Armies are moving, tribes are gathering, and a leader is rising. A man who calls himself the master of all who ride. Genghis Khan, the name already whispered with awe and with dread. His riders are said to move faster than birds, to strike harder than storms, to vanish before an army can even take shape against them. But for now, the wind is gentle, and the day is still your own. You rise slowly, brushing dust from your clothing, and step outside the felt tent where you had slept. Round you are others like yourself. Captives taken in raids, wanderers who were spared, traders who never returned home. Some are strong enough to work, herding animals or carrying water. Others are simply kept waiting, drifting, half forgotten in the great swirl of life on the steppe. The Mongol families move among you with calm efficiency. A woman crouches beside a pot, stirring millet into a thick porridge. Children chase one another around tethered horses, their laughter cutting across the air. Men move to check the herds, leading the animals to the grass, calling softly to them. It is a world that does not pause for you. It moves as it has always moved, like the wind, like the seasons. You're given a bowl of porridge, warm and coarse, flavored only with a touch of salty mare's milk. You eat slowly, listening to the camp breathe awake. The horses are everything here. Their hooves are the heartbeat of the steppe. They graze in loose circles, heads bent low, tails flicking against flies. Each one is small but strong, lean yet resilient. At any moment, one could be saddled and ridden for hours, even days, without breaking. You watch as a boy no older than 12 leaps onto the bare back of a chestnut mare and rides her down toward the riverbank, laughing as though the entire world belongs to him. It is in moments like this that you begin to feel the shape of their strength, not in the swing of a sword, not in the cries of battle, but in the quiet training of children who learn to ride before they can walk, who learn to shoot arrows before they can speak in full sentences. The Mongols live as though war is only an extension of daily life. You walk toward the ridge, where the grassland dips into a shallow valley. From here you can see further, much further, endless land, stretching to the faint blue curve of mountains in the distance. The air is so clear, so sharp, that every detail feels close enough to touch. And yet out there in that openness, danger gathers. You can sense it, though you cannot name it. Messengers arrive often. Lean riders galloping from one camp to another, bringing word of tribes joining, of khans submitting, of cities falling. The world beyond this grass is trembling. And you, a captive, can only wait to see which way the wind will carry you. The day passes slowly. You are given tasks, small things, sweeping ashes from a fire pit, fetching water from the shallow stream, helping mend a worn piece of harness. None of it is cruel, but none of it is freedom. Around you, Mongol men train. They ride in tight circles, loosing arrows at small marks, their horses moving as though they and the riders are one creature. The arrows strike true, again and again, even when the riders twist their bodies at impossible angles. You watch them practice until the sun dips, and you feel the weight of inevitability in your chest. For when these men ride against a city, against a village like the one you once called home, who could stand against them? The night comes quietly. The fires burn low. The camp gathers around bowls of meat boiled in salted water, tearing the flesh apart with sharp knives, sharing it without waste. You eat what you are given, chew slowly, and listen to the sound of their voices. The language is still strange to you, thick with guttural tones and sharp edges, but you begin to hear patterns in it, a rhythm beneath the noise. Children curl against their mothers. Men settle into cloaks of fur, lying close to the fire. The horses stand silently in the dark, only their breath visible, steaming in the night. Above you, the stars are sharper, clearer than you have ever seen. The sky of the steppe is infinite. It presses down on you, vast and unbroken. You lie back, feeling the earth's weight beneath you, and you close your eyes. For a moment, you imagine that the land is still, that the Mongols are only a people of horses and songs, and that tomorrow will be as quiet as today. But deep inside, you know the storm is coming. You know that this calm is only the breath before the world changes. You drift slowly into sleep. The steppe sleeps with you. You wake to the sound of bells. Not church bells, not temple gongs, but the light, hollow ringing of iron hung from the necks of horses. They drift through your half-dreams like wind chimes, gentle and unhurried, until you open your eyes and realize the sound is real. The morning has barely risen. A faint gray glow spills across the horizon, painting the grass with silver. The camp stirs slowly, breath rising from felt tents, shadows moving softly in the mist. And there, against the pale sky, you see them, riders. They move as one, a long line, dark against the glowing grass. Their horses are small but fast, hooves beating in rhythm, breath steaming in the cold. Each rider wears a heavy cloak of fur, bows slung across their backs, quivers shifting at their sides. They do not hurry, yet there is something inevitable in the way they move, as though the land itself carries them forward. The bells you hear are not warning bells. They are the soft ornaments tied to saddles, swaying with the motion of the horses, singing faintly in the dawn. The camp does not panic. No one cries out, no one runs. The Mongols do not fear the arrival of more Mongols. They move with calm purpose. Women lift pots from fires, men step forward to greet the newcomers, children peek from the tents with wide eyes. The world here accepts the presence of riders as naturally as it accepts the wind. You, however, feel your heart quicken. The air itself seems charged, humming with tension, though no voices are raised, no blades drawn. You watch as the line of riders curves toward the camp, and soon you see the details of their faces. They are young. Younger than you imagined, many no older than boys, but carrying themselves with the quiet weight of men who have ridden since childhood. Their cheeks are red from the cold, their hair bound in braids, their eyes sharp and bright. Each one is both separate and yet part of the whole, as though the steppe itself has molded them into one breath, one heartbeat. They dismount quickly, almost silently. Horses snort, shaking their manes, tails flicking. The riders strip saddles from their mounts with practiced ease, laying out gear, loosening straps, rubbing the animals down with dry grass. And then the voices begin. Not shouts, not speeches, but low murmurs, steady, confident, carried on the air like the rumble of distant water. You cannot understand the words, but you hear the rhythm. Orders given, stories exchanged, greetings murmured with quiet laughter. Around you, The camp folds the newcomers into itself with no hesitation. Pots are set above new fires, meat sliced and dropped into boiling water, bowls handed out. The smell of broth thickens in the cool morning air, warm and savory. You are given a small piece of bread, rough, flat, baked against the side of a pan. It is hot in your hands, and you chew it slowly, listening to the camp settle. A rider sits near you, does not look at you, not directly, but you feel the weight of his presence. His bow rests across his knees, its curve elegant, polished, deadly. He sharpens a knife with calm, even strokes, metal whispering against stone. Each scrape is steady, rhythmic, like a lullaby disguised as work. The Mongols do not waste energy on noise. Even their danger feels quiet. As the sun lifts higher, the air warms. Mist thins, revealing the endless plains in all directions. Horses graze in wide arcs, their bodies shimmering in the light. Children laugh again, chasing one another between tents. And for a moment, you feel a strange comfort. The riders do not threaten you. They do not even notice you. You are simply another shape in their wide, unfolding world. Later, you watch as the riders train. They mount with effortless grace, bows raised, arrows nocked in a blur of motion. The horses gallop, hooves striking in thunder, and yet their riders are steady, bodies balanced, eyes locked on invisible targets. The arrows whistle, one after another, released in fluid rhythm. They do not miss. Not at a gallop, not twisting in the saddle, not firing backward. You hear the sound of it all. The hiss of arrows cutting air, thrum of bowstrings snapping taut, the thunder of hooves against earth. And beneath it, the faint jingle of saddle bells still singing even in the chaos of motion. It should be frightening. But the repetition, the rhythm, the steady breath of riders and horses together, it soothes you. It is like listening to waves crash against a shore, over and over, with no end. By the time the sun sinks, you feel heavy with that rhythm. The riders return, unharmed, their horses steaming. They loosen straps, rub down coats, feed the animals with care. Then the camp gathers once more. Fires glow, broth simmers, fat crackles, dripping into the flames. The scent is warm, filling, comforting. You are given a bowl. You cradle it in your hands. The soup is thin, but hot. The meat within it soft, salted. You sip slowly, savoring the warmth spreading through you, the taste of earth and smoke lingering on your tongue. Around you, the camp hums with life. Not loud, never loud, only murmurs, laughter, firelight flickering across tired faces. The riders who arrived this morning now sit in circles, their voices lower, slower. They tell stories, though you cannot understand the words. Their tones rise and fall gently like wind sighing through grass. You listen anyway, letting the rhythm wash over you. The music of a language you do not know but can almost feel. A boy plucks softly at a horsehead fiddle, its long neck carved, its strings humming low. The sound is mournful but soothing, a song made of wind and open sky. It drifts across the camp like smoke, thin and persistent, until it mingles with the crackle of fire and the quiet stir of night. You lie back, wrapped in your blanket, the bowl empty at your side. Above you, the stars burn sharper tonight, countless, endless, impossible to name. The world feels vast, infinite, and yet here, within this circle of tents and firelight, you feel small and safe. The bells of the horses jingle faintly in the dark, a lullaby sung by iron and wind. The fire pops, the fiddle sighs. The camp murmurs softer and softer until it is only breath, and you too drift. Carried by the rhythm of hooves and the hush of grass, you surrender to sleep. The riders are here. Storm is coming. But for tonight, you are warm. You awaken not on the grasslands, but on stone. The air is heavier here, warmer, touched with smoke and dust. Around you rise walls not of felt, not of canvas, but of sun-baked brick, pale and cracked in the morning light. The sound of hooves has faded, replaced by the slow shuffle of feet, the murmurs of 1,000 tired voices. You are in a city that has fallen. The Mongols have moved on, yet their presence lingers, like footprints pressed deep into earth. Gates are broken. Streets lie scattered with the remains of what once stood firm. But life continues. Merchants sweep dust from doorways, women draw water from cracked wells, children chase each other through narrow alleys, their laughter bright against the silence of rubble. It is quieter than the steppe, but not safer. The air tastes of change. You walk slowly through the streets. Sunlight slides between leaning walls, soft and golden. Dust drifts lazily, catching the light in delicate spirals. You step carefully, listening to the texture beneath your feet. Stone uneven, gravel crunching, sand brushing against leather. Each sound is small, but together they weave a soft, steady rhythm. The Mongols are not gone entirely. Here and there you see them. Riders at rest, leaning on their horses, speaking in low voices. They do not shout, they do not strike. Their presence is heavy but quiet. Watchful, you pass through a marketplace. The stalls are broken, yet some have been rebuilt. Cloths hang, rough but colorful, swaying in the breeze. Baskets of grain are set out, small piles of dried fruit, jars of salted fish. A woman kneads dough at the corner of a stall, pressing, folding, pressing again. The rhythm is slow, hypnotic, like the turning of waves. You stop to watch, the scent of warm bread drifting into the air. A man nearby tends to a brazier, embers glowing red, heat pulsing faintly. He roasts strips of meat, their edges blackening, fat sizzling as it drips. The smoke curls upward, rich and sharp, making the air thick with warmth. He hums as he works, a low, tuneless murmur, steady as breathing. You are handed a piece. It is hot, rough against your fingers, and when you taste it, the salt and smoke cling to your tongue, grounding you, comforting you. You chew slowly, savoring every grain of flavor. Further on, you find a fountain. Its water still flows, trickling through cracks, pooling in a stone basin, worn smooth by centuries of hands. Children lean to sip, splashing one another, their laughter echoing against the walls. You dip your hand and the water is cool, startlingly fresh against your skin. Droplets slip down your wrist, shining in the sun. Life has not ended here. It has simply changed. You wander deeper. Past homes where doors stand open, rugs shaken out into the sun. Past shrines where candles burn low, their flames wavering, soft and golden. Past quiet courtyards where families sit together on low cushions, sharing bowls of rice and tea. The tea is strong, earthy, fragrant with herbs. Steam rises from each bowl, curling upward like whispers. You are offered one, and you cradle it carefully. The warmth spreads through your palms, through your chest, settling deep into your belly. You sip slowly, the bitterness fading into calm. Above you, doves coo from ledges. Their wings flutter, soft, sudden, startling only for a breath before fading into the hum of the city. Dogs wander the streets, tails low, noses pressed to the ground. Cats slip silently along walls, their eyes catching the light like shards of glass. The city breathes, has been scarred, but it breathes still. As the sun falls, shadows lengthen. Lanterns are lit one by one, each flame small, but together forming a gentle glow. The streets shimmer with light, soft against stone, trembling faintly in the breeze. The city hums quieter now, voices sinking, doors closing, footsteps fading. You walk toward the heart of it, where a square opens wide beneath the night sky. Here the Mongols gather. They sit around fires, their cloaks drawn close, bowls in hand. They speak softly, sharing stories in voices low and even. A musician plucks its strings, the sound drawn long and slow, like the sigh of wind across the steppe. The notes rise, fall, fade into the crackle of fire. Another voice joins. Not words you know, but a chant, steady, rhythmic, rocking like waves against shore. The two blend together, strings and voice, until the square itself seems to hum with their song. You sit nearby, listening. The flames flicker, painting the riders' faces with gold and shadow. Their eyes gleam, their laughter soft. There is no shouting, no clamor, only calm, steady life. The song continues. The fire warms your skin. The stone beneath you holds its heat from the day, firm and grounding. You close your eyes, and the city hums around you. The Mongols do not frighten you now. They are simply part of this night, part of this rhythm, part of this slow turning of the world. Your breath deepens, your body softens. The song lulls you, carrying you gently downward, into rest. The city has fallen, but you are safe. The morning comes quietly. You rise to the sound of hooves, steady and rhythmic, like the beating of a distant drum. The Mongols are moving again. Their camp has folded itself into motion. Tents struck, pots tied, horses saddled, and nothing remains behind. The city lingers at your back, but already it feels far away, like a dream dissolving in light. You are given a horse. Small, sturdy, its coat rough but warm beneath your hand. It breathes slow and steady, as though it, too, knows the pace of endless journeys. You place your hand along its neck. Feel the coarse mane beneath your fingers, the gentle pulse of life under the skin. It shifts its weight, then stands still, waiting for you. When you climb onto its back, the world opens again. The horizon stretches, unbroken. The grass sways, endless, alive. The horde moves as one body. Riders spread across the land, lines flowing like water, curving, bending, joining again. Hooves thrum the earth, soft but unceasing, a low vibration that hums into your bones. The air is clear, crisp, sharp, touched with the faint sweetness of grass crushed underfoot. Each breath feels cleaner than the last, as though it were washing you from the inside out. The sky above is vast, pale blue, brushed with drifting white clouds. You ride, not quickly, not roughly. The pace is steady, almost meditative. The horse beneath you moves with certainty, its steps small but constant. You do not need to guide it. It knows the way. Ours pass like ripples. The land does not change quickly, but it does change. The grass grows taller, then shorter. The soil shifts from dark to pale. Small hills rise and fall, gentle waves beneath the sea of sky. Each crest offers a new horizon, yet always the same sense of endlessness, of openness, of calm. When the horde stops, it is like the pause between heartbeats. The horses are loosed to graze. Riders dismount, stretch, kneel beside streams to drink. Fires are lit, small and smoky, water brought to boil. You are handed a strip of dried meat, hard and salty, and a bowl of warm mare's milk. The taste is sharp, unfamiliar, but filling. You chew slowly, sip carefully, and feel strength return. Around you, the riders eat without hurry, without chatter. The silence of the steppe is too vast to disturb. A boy no older than 15 plays with his bow, loosing arrows into a distant mound of earth. Each strike lands true, a thud soft but sure. Another hums as he sharpens a blade, the sound high and ringing like a faint bell. The fires crackle, the grass whispers. The steppe hums around you, calm and unending. When night comes, the sky blooms. Stars scatter across it, brighter than you have ever seen. They seem close, near enough to pluck from the air, near enough to fill your hands. The moon rises pale, silver, washing the land in gentle light. Horses shift in the dark, their breath misting, their tails swishing softly. You lie beneath a felt cloak, the earth firm beneath you, the sky infinite above. Riders murmur nearby, voices low, almost blending into the rustle of grass. Someone plucks at strings again, the tune slow, haunting, beautiful in its simplicity. You breathe deep. The air is cold, but the cloak is warm. Your body softens, your thoughts loosen. The world is vast, yet you are cradled within it. The Mongols ride endlessly, and you with them. But for now, there is only this night. Only these stars. Only this stillness. You drift, downward, deeper, into rest. The days pass quietly. One melts into another, like water slipping through open fingers. You ride, you rest, you ride again. The horde flows forward without pause, a living river stretched across the steppe. But now the land begins to change. The flat horizon rises, hills lift slowly from the earth, dark and rolling. Trees appear, scattered at first, then gathered, then thick with branches. Their leaves whisper in the wind, softer than the grass, deeper in tone, a low rustling like the murmur of distant voices. Your horse carries you beneath their shade. The air cools, touched with the scent of pine and damp earth. Shafts of sunlight break through the canopy, painting the ground with shifting gold. Each step echoes faintly, hooves thudding against roots, twigs snapping with soft cracks. You pass streams, clear and quick. Water tumbles over smooth stones, bright and restless. Riders stop to drink, kneeling to cup the flow in calloused hands. You kneel too, letting the cold slip over your palms, then lifting it to your lips. It is sharp, startling, then soothing. A coolness that seems to flow through you entirely, as if you, too, have become part of the river's song. At night, the forest hums differently. Crickets chirp in hidden places. Owls call from branches unseen. The fires glow softer here, their light absorbed by the trees, their smoke winding upward in thin ribbons. You lie beneath the canopy, watching the stars through gaps in the leaves, small fragments of infinity peeking through. The Mongols sleep easily, wrapped in cloaks, their horses close. You find yourself breathing with them, in, out, in, out. The rhythm of hundreds of lungs, hundreds of bodies, all at rest together. The next days bring mountains. They rise suddenly, as though the earth itself has heaved upward, jagged and immense. Snow crowns their peaks, shining in the sun, dazzling and cold. The air thins. Each breath feels cleaner, sharper, as though it has been filtered by stone and sky. Your horse climbs slowly, its muscles steady beneath you. The path winds, narrow and stony. Gravel crunches beneath hooves, stones scatter, tumble, echo faintly down the slopes. The higher you climb, the quieter it becomes. Wind sighs through the rocks, low and constant. The world below stretches wide, valleys dark with trees, rivers glinting silver, plains rolling to the horizon. You pause often, not from weariness, but to look, to breathe, to take in the immensity of it all. At night, the mountains are silent. No crickets, no owls, only the whisper of wind against stone. My fires burn small, their glow held close, fragile against the vast dark. You curl beneath your cloak, the ground hard but grounding, the air crisp against your face. Above, the stars blaze more brightly than ever, close enough to touch, close enough to believe they are watching. And then, after mountains, comes desert. The change is sudden. The trees fall away, the grass thins, the rivers vanish. Sand spreads wide, golden by day, silver by night. The sun blazes, its heat pressing down, heavy and slow. The earth shimmers, air wavers in waves. Your lips dry, your skin warms, but the horse carries you onward, steady, unhurried. Hear the sound of hooves changes. No crunch of stone, no rustle of grass, only a soft, muffled thud, rhythmic and lulling. The wind carries sand in thin streams, brushing your face, whispering against your cloak. At night, the desert softens. The air cools. The sand beneath you still holds the day's warmth, cradling you gently. Fires burn brighter here, their glow sharp against the emptiness. Voices carry farther, but they remain low, steady, blending into the hum of the night. The desert gives way at last. Beyond the dunes, beyond the rolling emptiness, a line appears on the horizon. At first it is faint, a smudge against the sky, then clearer, then sharper, stone rising where no stone should be. A city, tall walls, pale in the sunlight, stretching wide across the earth. Towers crown the corners, strong and watchful. Behind them, the faint outline of roofs, domes, spires. The air shimmers, dust curling upward, banners fluttering faintly in the wind. The Mongols slow their pace. The horde flows forward like a tide, then gathers, spreading across the plain before the walls. Horses stamp, snort, lower their heads to the earth. Riders sit still in their saddles, watching, silent, patient. You feel the stillness settle. A hush spreads, wide and heavy. The grass of the steppe had whispered. The forests had sung. The deserts had hummed. But here, before stone, there is only quiet. The city does not move. The horde does not move. The moment stretches, long and unbroken. At last, tents are raised, small at first, then many. Fires are lit, smoke winding upward in thin streams. The Mongols settle as though this is not battle, but another camp, another night. Horses graze on sparse grass, men unstring their bows, women prepare food. The rhythm of life returns, steady, unhurried. You are given a place near the fires, a bowl of broth, thin but hot. Bread, rough but filling. You eat slowly, the warmth spreading through you. Around you, voices murmur low. Words you do not understand, but tones you do. Calm, certain, patient. The city remains silent, its gates closed, its walls unmoving. Torches flare at dusk, dotting the battlements with small flames. The glow reflects faintly on stone, warm against the cool of evening. The Mongols do not attack, not yet. Days pass this way, camped before the walls, waiting. Each morning, riders circle outward, their figures dark against the bright plain. Each evening they return, quiet, unhurried, carrying what they have gathered. Wood for fire, water in skins, food from the land. The city watches, the horde watches back. An unspoken conversation, drawn out, unending. At night you lie beneath your cloak, the walls silhouetted against the stars. The city looms, steady and silent, while above it the heavens bloom with light. The contrast is striking. Stone below, sky above, and you in between, held by both. Sometimes you hear faint sounds from the walls. A call, a drumbeat, a dog barking in the distance. But the night always swallows them again, leaving only the steady breath of the horde around you. One morning, movement begins. Quietly, steadily, without rush, wood is carried. Frames are built, ropes tightened, wheels set. Shapes rise from the earth, unfamiliar at first, then unmistakable. Engines, tall and looming, their arms long, their bodies strong. Siege machines. They grow slowly, piece by piece, like trees sprouting in a strange forest. Each log fitted, each rope bound, each weight raised. The Mongols work in silence, efficient and sure, as though this, too, is simply another rhythm of life. The city remains closed, its gates barred, its towers watchful. Even as the machines stand ready, there is no rush, no thunder of assault, no sudden storm. Only patience, only stillness. Nights remain calm. The fires burn low, the grass whispers faintly in the wind. You lie beneath the stars, the shadow of the walls resting against the horizon, and you drift into dreams. Days pass, measured in hoofbeats, in the slow rising of engines, in the unchanging silence of stone. And then one evening, as the sun dips low, the first stone is loosed. It arcs high, slow, graceful, a shape against the fading sky. For a moment, it looks almost like a star, burning across the horizon. Then it falls, striking the wall with a deep, resonant sound. The earth seems to sigh, the city stirs. Torches flare brighter, voices rise faintly. Drums beat once, twice. The Mongols do not cheer, they do not rush. They simply load another stone, another arc, another strike. Now the rhythm begins, steady, unhurried. Like a heartbeat. Stone after stone, night after night. And as you watch, the sound becomes strangely soothing. The creak of ropes, the rush of air, the deep low thud against stone, over and over, like waves upon a shore, like breath in the body. The city waits, the horde waits, and you between them drift in the rhythm of stone and sky, of firelight and shadow, of patience stretched across endless days. The siege is not sudden, it is slow, it is steady. It is the rhythm of time itself, and in that rhythm, you find rest. You close your eyes. The thud of stone fades into a lullaby. The earth hums beneath you. Sleep takes you, gently, completely. The rhythm continues, stone after stone, arc after arc. Days stretching long, nights slow and star-woven, you begin to know the sound by heart. The creak of ropes, the groan of wood, the rush through air, the deep, slow thud against stone. It has become like a tide, steady and patient, a lullaby drawn from earth and sky. And then, one morning, something changes. You wake to silence, no creak, no thud, only stillness. The air feels heavier, the plain quieter, the horizon waiting. You rise, you look, and there, along the city's wall, a break, small at first, a shadow in the stone, then wider, then clear. A gap, jagged and dark, opening where once there had been strength. The city has been wounded. Its breath seems to falter. And all around the horde stirs softly, as if roused from a dream. But there is no roar, no sudden charge. The Mongols rise with the same patience they have always carried. Horses saddled, bows strung, faces calm, movements certain, quiet, almost ritual. The engines creak again, stones fall again, the gap widens. Dust drifts upward, pale against the sun. The wall sighs once more, then yields. The city is open. The horde flows forward, not as thunder, but as water. Steady, inevitable. Like a river following its course, you follow, carried in the tide. Through the gap, beneath the shadow of broken stone, into streets narrow and winding, the city breathes differently here. The air is thicker, touched with smoke, touched with fear, touched with quiet. Windows shuttered, doors closed, alleys still. The sound of hooves echoes strange, bouncing between walls, hollow and soft. But there is no chaos, no clamor, only the low murmur of Mongol voices, the creak of leather, the stamp of hooves. The city has surrendered itself to silence. You move through its heart, past markets now empty, stalls closed tight. Past fountains dry, their basins cracked. Past courtyards where trees stand tall but unmoving, their leaves still as if holding breath. Out. The Mongols spread outward, filling the city as though it were another plain, another camp, another space to claim. Fires are lit, horses watered, food taken. Life resumes, the same rhythm as before, but now within walls instead of without. Night falls. And the city, once proud and closed, becomes quiet in a different way. Torches burn where none burned before. Smoke rises where none rose before. The streets glow faintly, warm against the dark, like veins of light winding through stone. You lie in what was once a market square. The cobblestones firm beneath your cloak, the air touched with the scent of charred wood and distant bread. Around you, riders rest, their horses calm, their breath steady. Above, the stars remain. They shine as they always have, untouched, unmoved, eternal. The city has changed. The horde has moved, but the sky continues, endless, unbroken. As you close your eyes, you feel the stone beneath you soften, almost as if the earth itself is cradling you. The walls, once tall and proud, now seem to lean around you, sheltering you in their broken embrace. The silence deepens. The firelight flickers. The breath of the horde rises and falls. And you drift, past walls fallen, past battles ended, past cities claimed, into a place beyond stone, beyond earth, place of rest, unending. The city fades behind you. Its broken walls grow smaller with each passing day, until they are only lines on the horizon, then shadows, then memory. The steppe returns, wide open, endless. The horde moves as one, tents folded, horses saddled, carts creaking, a river of life flowing forward, unbroken, unstoppable. Hoofbeats drum in steady rhythm, like the earth's own heartbeat beneath you. The air changes as you travel, grows softer, touched with a scent of green. Grass thickens under hoof. Trees rise, first sparse, then many. The ground darkens with richness, with promise. Water murmurs nearby, flowing low and clear. And then the rivers, wide, shining, endless in their own way. Silver ribbons winding through the land, curving, bending, carrying light upon their backs. The Mongols cross them easily. Horses step into the shallows, carts roll through. The current parts, then closes again, erasing the passage as though nothing had disturbed it. You pause at the water's edge, kneel, cup your hands, drink. The water is cool, almost sweet. It spreads through you, filling you with calm, with ease. The sound of the river lingers in your ears long after you rise. A soft hush, a gentle lullaby. Nights here are different. The grass is lush beneath your cloak. The trees shelter you, their leaves whispering faintly in the wind. Firelight dances golden against trunks, shadows swaying in slow rhythm. The stars gleam between branches, their light softened, scattered, as though filtered through dream. The horde is quieter here. There is less hunger, less strain. The land offers freely. Berries, game fish from rivers. Fires glow brighter, bowls are filled fuller. Laughter murmurs more often in the dark. And then, one morning, the land opens again. Fields stretch wide, golden in the sun. Wheat sways gently, touched by wind, shining like a sea of firelight. In the distance, shapes rise. Not tents, not simple walls, but spires, domes, towers of stone and gold. A golden city, its roofs catch the sun. Its domes gleam as though lit from within. The sight feels unreal, dreamlike, as if a vision rather than a place. The Mongols pause upon the ridge, silent, watching, patient as always. The city shines below, unaware, untouched, still. The horde moves again, but slowly, carefully, circling wide. Camps rise in meadows, fires in valleys. The city is left alone for now, glowing quietly in the distance like a lantern on the horizon. Days pass this way. You rise, you travel, you rest. The city remains, constant yet far, never closer, never gone. Always shimmering in the corner of your eye, like something half-real. At night, its domes reflect the moonlight. Silver and gold, glowing softly against the dark. You lie beneath your cloak, listening to the river nearby, watching the city shimmer like a dream too delicate to touch. And slowly, gently, you drift into that dream. You imagine walking its streets, stone warm beneath your feet. Markets filled with spices, with silks, with soft voices. Gardens heavy with roses, fountains spilling silver streams. Domes gleaming above you, towers reaching higher than clouds. And in that imagining, you sleep. The city cradles you in vision. The river hums beside you. The horde breathes steady around you. The world turns gently, carrying you forward into rest. The horde moves onward. The golden city fades into the distance, a gleam left behind, a dream untouchable. Now the land grows quieter, wider, darker. The nights deepen, the skies open. It is in these spaces that the whispers begin, not loud, not harsh, soft, like the rustling of leaves, like wind through tall grass. The shamans walk among the tents, their steps slow, their eyes lifted toward the sky. They carry no weapons, only drums, carved bones, strips of cloth fluttering faintly in the air. They hum as they move, low and steady, a sound that seems to rise not from their throats, but from the earth itself. At night, fires burn low. The horde grows hushed. The shamans gather in circles, faces flickering in the glow, shadows stretching long. You sit near, not too close, not too far. The rhythm draws you in, hands upon drums, fingers upon strings. Voices weaving together, soft and deep, like the heartbeat of the world. Above, the stars turn, slow, patient, eternal. The shamans lift their eyes to them, reading shapes, reading paths, the arc of a comet, the glimmer of a new star, the way constellations lean against one another like stories written in light. Whispers ripple through the camp, an omen, a sign. The spirits guide us, but their voices are not fearful. They are calm, steady, sure, as if the world is only unfolding as it must. You close your eyes. The drumbeat settles into your chest, each thrum a wave, each hum a tide. The sound carries you downward, inward, into a space both vast and gentle. And there, in that quiet, you almost see it. A horse of silver running across the sky, a river of light flowing endlessly, a shadow of wings, wide and protective, bending low. Not frightening, not harsh, only guiding, only carrying, only reminding you that the journey has always been larger than you, larger than the horde, larger than the land. You breathe slow, you rest deeper. The shamans sing on, their voices weaving with the fire's crackle. With the horse's breath, with the rustle of the grass, the night grows long, the stars drift steady, and you fall softly into sleep. The air changes once again. The golden fields fall behind, the warmth fading, replaced by something sharper. The grass grows thinner, the earth grows firmer, colder. Breath curls white in the air. You pull your cloak closer. The wind brushes your cheeks, cool at first, then colder still. Above, the sky shifts, deeper, heavier, pale blue by day, dark steel by night. The horde is not slow. Horses stamp forward, their breath clouds of mist. Wheels of carts creak across frozen ground. The sound of hoofbeats carries differently here, sharper, echoing faintly against trunks, against branches. The trees arrive, tall pines, endless, thick. They rise like walls on either side, their needles whispering in the wind. The forest wraps around you, vast and hushed, the light dimmed. The air filled with the faint scent of resin, of frost, of earth asleep beneath its blanket. Snow begins to fall, soft at first. A few flakes drifting, vanishing as they touch the ground. Then more and more, until the forest grows pale, softened, quiet. Every branch edged in white. Every path hushed beneath a layer of silk. The horde keeps moving, but slower now. Horses pick their way carefully. Carts roll heavy through drifts. Fires burn brighter at night, gathered close, their warmth more precious, more dear. You lie wrapped in your cloak, the snow muffling the world. All sounds are softer, the neigh of horses, the murmur of voices, the crackle of fire. Above, the stars gleam sharper, colder, but no less beautiful. They glitter like ice upon the sky. Sometimes the forest parts, clearing. A frozen lake, still and shining, reflecting the moon like glass. You pause at its edge, listening to the silence, the stillness, as though the world itself is holding its breath. And then, deeper still into the north, the nights grow longer. The sun lingers less, the dark stretches wider, but in that darkness, the sky comes alive. The aurora, a soft green, drifting like smoke, rippling, bending, shimmering, then pink, violet, silver, folding and unfolding across the heavens. The horde halts beneath it, heads tilted upward, silent, reverent. Even the horses grow still, as though watching. You stand there too, breath caught, heart quiet. The lights move slowly, endlessly, painting the night with color. A dance not of fire, not of war, but of sky, of silence, of beauty. And when you finally lie down again, the glow lingers in your vision, like a soft dream painted upon your eyelids. The forest hums low around you. The snow cradles you in silence. And you drift gently into sleep. The forest's thin. The trees fall away. Once more the world opens wide. But this time, it is not golden fields that greet you. It is frost. White plains, hard earth, snow swept into rippling waves by the wind. The horizon gleams pale beneath a sky of steel, and there, rising from the whiteness, stone, dark, heavy, tall. Walls etched with frost, towers rimmed with ice, gates standing silent against the cold. A frozen city. The Mongols pause upon the ridges, silent as always, patient as always. Their fires burn low in the snow, their breath rises in clouds. They watch, they wait. From the walls, smoke curls faintly. A watchfire glimmers. Shadows pass across battlements, wrapped in fur, clutching spears against the cold. The city huddles, its people bracing, its stones groaning in the winter wind. The siege begins not with thunder, not with clash, but with silence. The horde spreads wide, circling, settling, building fires in the snow. Drums do not yet sound. Banners do not yet rise. The city is left to see, to wonder, to worry. Days pass this way. The sun rises pale, sets early. Smoke from the horde's fires coils endlessly into the air, a ring of shadow around the city. Inside, bells toll faintly, as though calling prayers, as though calling courage. Nights are the heaviest. The cold presses close. The silence deepens. And across the snow, you hear faint sounds. The creak of wood on walls. The groan of ice and stone. The howl of wolves in the distance. You wrap yourself tighter in your cloak, lie close to the fire. Listen to the hush of snow as it falls, softer and softer, layering the ground, the tents, the earth itself. The world feels paused, caught between breaths. And then, one morning, the stillness cracks. The horde stirs. Drums sound, slow, steady, echoing across the frozen plain. Banners rise, snapping in the sharp wind. Engines are pulled forward. Towers, rams, catapults creaking across the snow. The city answers, bells ring louder. Voices call, arrows whistle down from the walls, vanishing into the white. The siege has begun. But from where you stand, the world remains strangely dreamlike. The clash of arrows muffled by snow. The cries softened by wind. The fires glowing faintly against the pale expanse. The city endures for days, then weeks. Its walls hold, its towers stand. But slowly, the circle tightens. The horde waits with endless patience, like the snow itself, pressing, covering, consuming. And in the end, when the gates finally break, it is not thunder, but silence that reigns. The city falls into hush. Smoke rises faint against the pale sky. The horde moves through streets buried in snow, their breath misting, their hooves muffled, their shadows long in the winter light. That night the fires burn warmer. The siege is over. The city is quiet. You lie down beneath the still sky, snowflakes drifting softly over your cloak, the stars glittering sharp and clear above. Sleep finds you easily here. The hush of winter wraps you close. The dream of stone and snow lingers only faintly, fading as you drift away. The city fades behind you, its broken gates, its smoldering smoke, its silent streets, all swallowed by the snow. Ahead lies only white. White without end. A horizon of ice that stretches further than sight, further than thought. The horde rides on. Horses pick their way carefully, hooves crunching upon frozen ground. Wheels of carts groan, wood straining against the bitter cold. Every breath rises in clouds, drifting upward, lost in the pale air. The rivers here are frozen. They do not run. They lie still and gleaming, hard as glass, shining faintly beneath the sun. The horses step upon them, hooves striking, echoing. Each step rings like a drum across the wide emptiness. The sky is vast, pale blue by day, endless black by night. At dusk, the horizon glows faintly pink, then fades into silver, then darkens to indigo. Stars shimmer brighter here than anywhere else, sharp and countless, as though you could reach up and touch them. The wind whispers across the plains. Carries no leaves, no sand, no scent of grass. Only the taste of cold, the sting of frost upon your cheeks, the sound of silence broken only by hoof and breath. The days blur into one another. Ride, rest, ride again. White above, white below, white ahead. The land feels endless, like a dream you cannot step out of. At night, fires glow faint against the vastness. Small circles of warmth, of light, of life. You huddle near yours, wrapped in furs, listening to the crackle of wood, the sigh of wind.
Oh.
Beyond the fire's glow, the world vanishes into shadow and ice. And then, sometimes the sky awakens again. The aurora ripples across the heavens, green, violet, silver, flowing like rivers of light. The horde halts beneath it, gazing upward, hushed, entranced. The lights dance endlessly, a slow, soft rhythm, a dream painted upon the sky. Lie back upon the snow, head resting upon your cloak. The cold earth cradles you, steady, unmoving. The stars shimmer above, the aurora drifts. Your breath curls white into the air. The world feels vast, eternal, infinite. And yet, in this moment, gentle, your eyes grow heavy. The fire warms your side. The snow hushes every sound. And the endless ice carries you softly, slowly, into sleep. The ice begins to soften, not all at once, slowly, quietly. A melt beneath the surface, a whisper in the wind, a change in the air. The horde rides onward, Snow still lies beneath the hooves, but thinner now. The air feels different, moist, milder. The wind carries scents, faint but there. Earth, water, life. And then one morning you hear it. A sound that has been absent for months. Not wind, not hooves, but fire, water, flowing, whispering, alive. The great river appears like a silver serpent winding through the white, wide, slow, powerful. Its surface gleams beneath the sun, ripples breaking the mirror, carrying ice fragments down its current. The Mongols halt at the bank. The horses drink deeply. Men kneel to scoop water into their hands, splashing faces, washing eyes, smiling faintly. The river feels like a promise, a path, a guide, a thread leading them forward. Camps rise along the banks. Fires burn brighter here. Cold is still sharp, but no longer biting. At night, you hear the water flowing softly beside you, a lullaby for the weary. The shamans walk the banks, murmuring blessings, tossing herbs and ash into the current. The river carries their offerings away, slow and sure, disappearing into the distance. They say the spirits of water are old, gentle, wise. They say the river knows the way. Boats are built. It's not great ships, not yet, but rafts, ferries, small vessels lashed together from logs and hides. The horde crosses slowly, carefully. Horses swimming beside, carts ferried over in pieces. The river accepts them all. And on the far bank, the land is different again. The ground is soft. The grass returns. The snow retreats into shadows, into hollows, into memory. The horde follows the river's path. Always eastward, always onward. The river widens, narrows, bends, flows. It sings its endless song. At night, you lie close to its banks, listening to the hush and gurgle of water slipping over stone, swirling around roots, flowing ever on. It lulls you like a cradle. It carries you like a dream. The stars shimmer above, mirrored in the water below. You lie between them, sky above, river below. A ribbon of light in both directions. Your breath slows. Your eyes close. And you drift as the river drifts, as the world drifts, as the dream carries on. The forest thins. The trees grow shorter, scattered, clinging to the slopes. And beyond them, stone rises. Mountains, vast, solemn, jagged against the sky. As snow glimmers on their peaks, even in the warmth of day. Clouds brush their ridges, dragging shadows across their faces. The horde slows once more. The paths narrow, carts creak against rock. Horses pick their steps carefully. The air sharpens, cooler with every breath. Upward, always upward. Switchbacks carve along cliffs, winding endlessly. The wind grows stronger, carrying scents of ice, of stone, of high places where little else lives. At night, the fires burn bright against the cold. The stars are closer here, it seems, sharper, as though the sky is bent down toward you. The peaks glow faintly silver beneath their light, silent, unmoving. The shamans say the mountains are ancient spirits, older than rivers, older than forests, older than memory itself. They say the peaks hold wisdom, patience, silence. And so, at narrow passes, the Mongols leave offerings. A stone piled upon another. A feather tucked into a crack, a string of beads tied around a root. Tiny gestures, tokens of respect, snow crunches beneath hooves, breath frosts white in the air. Every sound carries farther here, echoing against stone. A horse's neigh bounces back as though the mountains answer. The higher you go, the thinner the air feels. Your chest rises slower, deeper. Each breath feels precious, each step deliberate. Yet there is peace in this slowness. The mountain forces you to be steady. The mountain teaches patience. Nights are colder still. You wrap tightly in furs, curling near the fire, listening to the crackle and hiss as sparks leap upward, fading into the dark. Sometimes the wind howls through the passes, long, low, like a voice singing across stone. It lulls you, draws you deeper, carries you towards sleep. One dawn, you wake to see the horizon. Far below, far beyond, the lands stretch out endless. Rivers glinting silver. Plains like shadows, forests like patches of dark green. The world feels vast beneath you. You feel small, yet carried, as though the mountains themselves hold you in their arms. And when the horde moves again, you follow, step by step. Stone beneath, sky above, snow at your side. Each path leads onward. Each pass leads higher. And slowly, gently, you drift into the rhythm of the climb. Steady, sure, timeless. The climb ends not with a sudden crest, but with a gentle easing. The path rises one last time, the peaks towering above, the sky vast and white, and then downward. The mountains open. The land spreads wide once more. You begin to descend. The air warms with each step lower. The snow thins. The rocks give way to soil, then to grass. Streams run beside the paths, tumbling fast, laughing over stone. The horde breathes easier. Horses move quicker. Carts rattle with less strain. Men smile faintly, shoulders loosening after the long climb. The valleys below glow with color. Green returns, soft moss, sprouting grass, shrubs pushing from the earth. The wind carries scents you have not known for months. Damp soil, new leaves. The faint sweetness of blossoms clinging stubbornly to branches. At night, the camp rests near the streams. The sound of rushing water fills the dark, steady, comforting. The fires glow against stone walls, casting long shadows. Above, the peaks remain sharp and cold, but they feel far now, behind you, like a dream already fading. The shamans say descent is a gift, that after hardship comes gentleness, that the spirits of the valley are welcoming, softer than the harsh lords of stone above. And so they leave offerings at the base of cliffs, milk poured into the earth, bits of bread, bright cloth tied to branches swaying in the wind. Days stretch onward. The valleys open wider. Forests return, but not as endless shadow. Lighter, greener, filled with birdsong. Deer flash between trees. Streams join into rivers, their currents strong but playful. The Mongols ride with ease now. Pace is quicker, the air softer, the nights warmer. Still, the vastness ahead waits. Still, the horizon beckons. One evening, you climb a small ridge and see far into the distance. Rolling hills, wide plains, shadows of towns, faint and small, scattered like dots across the earth. Beyond them, a faint haze. The promise of great cities, of lands new and unknown. The horde rests, but you linger. The sky glows with sunset, pink and gold spilling across the clouds. The rivers catch the light, shimmering ribbons winding toward the horizon. The air is cool, soft against your skin. And in that moment, you feel both tiny and endless part of the world and carried by it. As night falls, you curl close to the fire. The sound of water drifts in the air. The scent of pine and grass surrounds you. And you sleep gently, easily, knowing the mountains are behind you and the new lands wait ahead. The mountains fade behind you. Day by day, their peaks shrink against the horizon until they are no more than faint shadows blue in the distance. Before you now lies openness once again. Plains, rolling, endless, swaying with grass. The wind moves across them in great waves, bending the stalks so that the land itself seems to breathe. The sky above is immense, blue so wide it feels eternal, clouds drifting like sails across an invisible sea. The horde thrives here. This is the steppes' cousin, a familiar rhythm. The riders stretch out loose and swift, their horses eager beneath them. Hooves drum against the earth, steady as a heartbeat. The sound carries for miles, a low thunder moving always forward. The air smells of grass, of dust, of freedom. The wind is constant, brushing your face, tugging your cloak, rushing into your lungs. It feels clean, fresh, endless. Days blend easily here. The horizon barely shifts. Morning light pours gold across the plains. Noon is bright, shimmering with heat and shadow. Evening sinks gently, painting the grasses with amber, then purple, then silver beneath the moon. At night, the fires scatter across the plain, each one a star upon the earth. The riders gather close, their voices softened by the wide dark. Songs rise low and steady, carrying across the fields. The wind lifts them, spreads them, until it seems the land itself hums in harmony. The shamans speak often here. They say the plains carry dreams, that the wind is a messenger. Moving between the world of the living and the unseen, they burn herbs, sending smoke upward in spirals, watching how it twists in the air. Each curl, each shift, a sign. Lie down in the grass, the earth firm beneath you. Stars above are countless, so bright, so close, as if the sky has opened itself just for you. You breathe slowly. The air is cool. The grass whispers around you. The songs fade into silence. Sleep comes easily, gently, as though carried on the back of the wind. When you wake, the horizon has shifted only slightly. Another stretch of grass, another endless sky, and yet you feel content. For each day is a rhythm, steady and soothing, carrying you deeper into the world, deeper into yourself. The horde moves as one, and you, part of it, ride beneath the open sky, across the rolling plains, endless and eternal. The plains begin to change. The grass grows thinner, shorter, scattered. Patches of bare earth widen, stretching farther with each day. The wind shifts, carrying not the sweet scent of green, but the dry tang of dust. The horde slows. Horses lower their heads, snorting at the strange earth. Their hooves kick up small clouds that linger, hanging in the air, drifting like smoke. The horizon glows pale. Not green, not blue, but a faint gold, stretching endlessly. Sand, a desert waiting. The riders murmur among themselves. Steppe is their home, the plains their ally. But the desert is different, empty, unforgiving. A place where water hides, where shade is rare, where the sun rules as lord. At camp, the shamans light fires and scatter herbs. The smoke rises thin into the dry air. They whisper that the desert is a spirit of hunger, not cruel, but never satisfied. It will take as it pleases. One must walk softly with humility. The next day you ride closer. The grass disappears entirely. What remains is dust, cracked earth, stones, bleached by sun. The air itself feels thinner, sharper, pulling the moisture from your lips, your skin, your breath. At night, the world changes again. The heat of the day vanishes, replaced by cold that bites, sharper than the mountain winds. You wrap in furs, drawing close to the fire, yet the flames seem smaller here, their warmth swallowed by the vastness. Above, the stars blaze even brighter, countless sharp, like frost in the heavens. The horde is quiet, voices lower, laughter rare. The desert commands silence. It's only the crackle of fire, the restless snorts of horses, the occasional wail of wind through stone. And yet there is beauty here. The sunsets are vast, the sky burning red, orange, violet, fading into deep indigo. The air is so clear that even distant ridges seem sharp against the horizon. The emptiness feels not hollow but sacred, as though the earth itself has paused, waiting. You walk a little apart one evening, your boots crunching softly on the dry soil. The horizon glows faintly silver in the moonlight, the desert stretching silent, endless. You breathe deep. The air is cold, sharp, clean. And for a moment, you feel suspended. Between worlds, between breaths, between dreams. When you return, the fires flicker, the camp rests. Sleep takes you slowly, like sand sifting through an hourglass, steady and quiet. The desert watches, silent and eternal. The morning comes pale, heavy with silence. The horde gathers, the horses restless, their breath already dry in the air. Before you lies the desert in full, sand, not patches, not streaks, but endless. Rolling waves of gold, rising and falling like a sea without water. The wind sweeps across them, reshaping the dunes even as you watch. The riders adjust their cloaks, pull cloth across their mouths. Water skins hang heavy at their sides, precious, guarded, counted. Every drop is weighed, every sip measured. The march begins. Hooves sink softly into sand, leaving shallow prints that vanish as the wind shifts. The carts creak, their wheels struggling. Men walk beside oxen, steadying loads, their steps slow and deliberate. The sun climbs quickly. Its heat presses downward, heavy, unrelenting. The air shimmers. Far off, the dunes seem to ripple, bending, twisting, as though the world itself wavers. Mirages rise, pools of water, distant lakes, shining rivers. Always ahead, never reached. The hours stretch, the land does not change. Only sand, only sky, only sun. The rhythm becomes your world, one step, one breath, one heartbeat. Then again, at night relief comes. The air cools sharply, almost cruelly, as though the desert delights in extremes. Pull close to the fire, though it barely warms against the vast emptiness. The stars above spill brighter than anywhere before, countless, fierce, a river of light across the heavens. The silence is so complete, you can hear your own breath, your own pulse, your own thoughts drifting like sand across the mind. Days pass, the horde thins in its chatter. Voices grow hushed, laughter rare. Every rider saves strength. Even the horses step carefully, their heads low, their eyes narrowed against the glare. And yet, the desert gives beauty too. At dawn, the sands glow pink, then gold, then blazing white. At sunset, they burn red, endless waves of fire fading into violet shadow. At night, the moon rises, silver and cold, turning the dunes into rolling hills of pale frost. You find yourself lulled by it. The monotony becomes rhythm. The emptiness becomes stillness. The desert whispers in its silence. Slow, breathe, endure. One evening you lie back upon the sand. It is cool now, smooth beneath your palms. The sky spills wide above. The stars are endless, eternal, unblinking. You close your eyes. The heat of the day, the chill of the night, the weight of the journey, all drift away. Sleep comes softly, like a dune shifting in the wind. The desert carries you, silent, patient, endless. Morning begins the same as always. Sand beneath your feet, sky above, unbroken, pale and wide. The horizon wavers in the distance, heat already rising though the sun is barely awake. The horde moves slowly, tired, steady. Every hoof, every wheel, every footstep grinds into the dunes. Thirst weighs heavier than armor, heavier than exhaustion. Lips crack, tongues grow dry. The sound of water skins being opened is rare, precious, almost sacred. And then a murmur spreads through the riders. First a whisper, then a ripple, then voices lifted in hope. Ahead the horizon shifts, green, not mirage, not trick of the eye, but real. Palm fronds swaying, shadows spilling across golden sand. The shimmer of water catching the sun, the pace quickens. The horses raise their heads, nostrils flaring. Carts creak forward, riders urging them with renewed strength. The air itself seems to brighten, carrying the scent of life. The oasis rises before you. A cluster of palms, tall and graceful, their leaves whispering in the breeze. Beneath them, pools of water glisten, ringed by reeds and soft grass. Birds flit above, their wings flashing silver in the light. And in the shade, flowers bloom, small, delicate, yet stubbornly alive. The horde spills into it with reverence. It's not wild, not chaotic, but careful. Water is approached like a shrine. Horses are led gently, their heads lowered into the pools, drinking deep. Riders kneel, cupping water into their hands, pressing it to their faces, their lips, their foreheads. Some weep softly, their tears mingling with the coolness. The air beneath the palms is different, cool, damp, sweet with the smell of leaves and blossoms. The sun above still burns, but here, beneath the green canopy, there is relief, shelter, peace. Camp is made quickly. Fires crackle, food is cooked with laughter, returning at last. Songs rise again, soft but joyful, carried on the gentle breeze. The shamans give thanks, scattering herbs into the water, whispering prayers of gratitude. They say the oasis is a gift, a reminder that even in the harshest emptiness, life endures. You lie down upon the grass, real grass, soft beneath your hands, cool against your cheek. The sound of water trickles nearby, steady and soothing. The palms sway overhead, their leaves clattering gently in the breeze. The air is filled with life, birds calling, insects humming, water rippling. You breathe deep as the coolness fills your chest. The rhythm of the oasis wraps around you, cradling you in calm. The desert, fierce and endless, fades beyond its borders. Here there is only peace. Sleep takes you easily, gently, like water flowing over stone. The oasis holds you, cool, calm, alive. Morning begins the same as always. Sand beneath your feet, sky above, unbroken, pale and wide. The horizon wavers in the distance, heat already rising though the sun is barely awake. The horde moves slowly, tired, steady. Every hoof, every wheel, every footstep grinds into the dunes. Thirst weighs heavier than armor, heavier than exhaustion. Lips crack, tongues grow dry. The sound of water skins being opened is rare, precious, almost sacred. And then a murmur spreads through the riders. First a whisper, then a ripple, then voices lifted in hope. Ahead the horizon shifts, green, not mirage, not trick of the eye, but real. Palm fronds swaying, shadows spilling across golden sand. The shimmer of water catching the sun, the pace quickens. The horses raise their heads, nostrils flaring. Carts creak forward, riders urging them with renewed strength. The air itself seems to brighten, carrying the scent of life. The oasis rises before you. A cluster of palms, tall and graceful, their leaves whispering in the breeze. Beneath them, pools of water glisten, ringed by reeds and soft grass. Birds flit above, their wings flashing silver in the light. And in the shade, flowers bloom, small, delicate, yet stubbornly alive. The horde spills into it with reverence. It's not wild, not chaotic, but careful. Water is approached like a shrine. Horses are led gently, their heads lowered into the pools, drinking deep. Riders kneel, cupping water into their hands, pressing it to their faces, their lips, their foreheads. Some weep softly, their tears mingling with the coolness. The air beneath the palms is different, cool, damp, sweet with the smell of leaves and blossoms. The sun above still burns, but here, beneath the green canopy, there is relief, shelter, peace. Camp is made quickly. Fires crackle, food is cooked with laughter, returning at last. Songs rise again, soft but joyful, carried on the gentle breeze. The shamans give thanks, scattering herbs into the water, whispering prayers of gratitude. They say the oasis is a gift, a reminder that even in the harshest emptiness, life endures. You lie down upon the grass, real grass, soft beneath your hands, cool against your cheek. The sound of water trickles nearby, steady and soothing. The palms sway overhead, their leaves clattering gently in the breeze. The air is filled with life, birds calling, insects humming, water rippling. You breathe deep as the coolness fills your chest. The rhythm of the oasis wraps around you, cradling you in calm. The desert, fierce and endless, fades beyond its borders. Here there is only peace. Sleep takes you easily, gently, like water flowing over stone. The oasis holds you, cool, calm, alive. The city's glow fades behind you. The walls sink into the horizon, lanterns dim until they are only sparks in memory. Ahead stretches the desert once more, a river of gold under the rising sun. But this time, you are not alone upon the sands. A caravan moves with you. Camels sway in long lines, their padded feet pressing softly into the dunes. They carry silk wrapped in cloth, chests filled with spice, jars of oil, scrolls of ink. Bells jingle gently, a soft music that keeps the rhythm of the march. Men and women walk beside them, robed against the sun. Their voices murmur like flowing water, drifting from tongue to tongue, language to language. Stories pass between them, of distant lands, of cities by the sea, of mountains crowned with snow. Each tale is carried like a treasure, exchanged freely, glowing brighter than gold. Fall into the rhythm, step, sway, jingle, murmur. The desert heat presses close, but the sound of bells is soothing. The caravan moves like a single creature, endless, patient, strong. At night, the desert becomes a sea of light. Caravan halts, tents rising in neat rows. Fires glow against the darkness, sparks drifting into the stars. The smell of spice thickens, cumin, cardamom, saffron, mingling with the roasting of bread and meat. You sit among them, sharing food and warmth. A trader unrolls cloth of deep blue, smooth as water. Another shows a jar filled with honey, thick and golden. Children laugh, chasing shadows at the edge of firelight. Someone begins to play a flute, the sound rising soft, slow, like wind across sand. The night deepens. Above, the stars stretch brighter than ever, filling the sky from edge to edge. The fire crackles. The camels murmur in low, patient voices. Sleep comes like a gentle tide, wrapping the camp in silence. You lie upon the sand, the earth still warm beneath you. The bells of the camels jingle faintly as though dreaming with you. And above, the eternal sky watches, vast and calm. Dream drifts in, soft as silk. Caravan breathes, the desert breathes, you breathe, all is one. The night is endless, safe and still. The dawn is gentle when the caravan reaches the gates. The city rises from the desert like a mirage. Walls of sand-colored stone, towers glinting in the light. Palm trees sway just beyond the gates, their leaves whispering like hands against silk. You pass beneath an arch carved with patterns of flowers and stars. The air shifts at once. Instead of dry desert wind, the breeze carries spice and smoke, sweet fruit, roasted bread. It is the scent of life in full bloom. The bazaar spreads before you like a living river. Stalls rise in winding rows, covered in bright cloth. Lanterns hang overhead, even in daylight, their colors shimmering red, gold, and blue. The voices of hundreds weave together, merchants calling, children laughing, whispers of trade and tale. You walk slowly. Everywhere there is wonder. Silk hangs in cascades, smooth and cool beneath your fingers. Spices glow in bowls, crimson saffron, golden turmeric, black pepper like tiny polished stones. Piles of dates and figs gleam in the sun, sweet and heavy with promise. A jeweler holds up a necklace of lapis, blue as midnight sky. A potter shapes clay on a wheel, hands moving steady, the vessel rising smooth beneath them. Musicians sit in a circle, strings and drums weaving a tune that drifts through the air like incense. The bazaar whispers. Every step brings a new sound, a new scent, a new story. You pause at a stall where an old man sells scrolls. He smiles, eyes bright, and unrolls one for you. Ink swirls across parchment, maps of lands you have never seen, rivers and mountains like dreams given shape. The caravan scatters into the crowd. Camels kneel, goods are unloaded, trade begins. Coins clink softly, promises are spoken, hands meet in gentle agreement. But for you, there is no hurry. You drift as though in a dream, watching, listening, breathing. As the sun sets, lanterns bloom one by one. The bazaar glows golden, then red, then deep amber. The air is thick with music now, and with the scent of cardamom tea. People gather close, sitting on carpets spread upon the ground. Stories rise like smoke, winding into the air, soft and endless. You sit among them, warmed by the lanterns. A storyteller's voice is low, smooth, steady. He speaks of journeys across seas, of kings and queens, of winds that carried ships farther than eyes could follow. His words fold around you like a blanket, gentle and deep. The lantern light flickers, the bazaar hums like a heartbeat. And you, wrapped in stories, in scent, in sound, feel yourself sink softly into rest. The whispers continue, soothing, carrying you gently into dreams. The bazaar breathes on, alive, eternal. The bazaar fades behind you, its lanterns now just tiny sparks in memory. The caravan moves once more, but this time the road is quieter, calmer. The horizon stretches wide, unbroken. The air feels cleaner, lighter, touched only by the scent of grass and sky. You ride slowly across the steppe. The land is a vast ocean of green, rolling in soft waves to every side. The only sound is the steady breath of the horse beneath you, the hush of wind moving through the endless grass. Above, the heavens open wide, blue by day, jeweled with stars by night. This is the heart of the nomad's world. Nothing binds you but the rhythm of the earth and sky. Tents rise at dusk, round and simple, their felt walls glowing faintly with firelight within. At night, the songs are soft, rising with the smoke into the heavens. You sit beside a small fire, its warmth brushing your hands. A woman stirs milk tea in a pot, the steam rising fragrant and sweet. She pours it into shallow bowls, offering one to you with a quiet smile. The tea is creamy, smooth, touched with salt, comforting as the embrace of a blanket. Fire crackles. Children laugh somewhere nearby, their voices fading into the wide dark. The elders speak slowly, their words weaving between long silences. There is no rush here. Every pause feels natural, like a breath taken with the earth itself. When you step outside the tent, the sky swallows you whole. Stars scatter from horizon to horizon, bright and uncountable. The Milky Way spills across the heavens like a river of light. You stand still, breathing deeply, the cool air filling your chest. Here, beneath the eternal sky, everything feels vast, yet gentle. The world is endless, but safe. The land cradles you, the heavens watch over you, and the night hums with quiet peace. You lie down in the grass, the earth soft beneath your back. The stars seem so close you could reach and brush them with your fingertips. The steppe sighs softly, the wind moving as a lullaby through the blades. And slowly, your breath falls into rhythm with the earth itself. Sleep drifts near, tender as silk, infinite as the sky above. The eternal heavens glow, watching over you, endless and calm. The road is quiet now, not because it has ended, but because you have learned its rhythm. It's big each step of the horse, each sway of the camel, each breath of the earth. All feel like part of a single song. The memories drift with you. The great walls of the cities glowing with lanterns, the laughter of markets alive with color and spice, the whispers of caravans moving like rivers across the sand. The steppe at night, its sky vast and eternal. You carry them gently, as though each is a jewel wrapped in silk. They do not weigh you down. Instead, they make you lighter, as though every story, every voice, every smile along the road has become part of you. The sun sets once more. The horizon glows amber, then fades into violet, then deep blue. A single star appears, then another. And soon, the heavens are filled again, as they always are, endless and calm. You stop for the night. No tents, no caravan, no walls. Only the earth beneath you, soft with grass, and the sky above, glittering with light. The air is cool. The world hums gently, as though it too is drifting towards sleep. You lie back, the ground steady and warm. The stars feel close again, like friends leaning in to keep watch. Your eyes grow heavy, but your spirit feels wide awake, stretched across horizon and sky. You realize that the journey has never been about reaching one place or another. It has always been about moving, breathing, resting, about being part of the endless flow. The Silk Road is not a line upon a map. It is a living dream winding through deserts and mountains, through rivers and seas, through the hearts of those who walk it. It has no end, because each traveler carries it forward. And now, so do you. Your breath slows, your body softens. The earth cradles you, steady as ever. The sky leans close, wrapping you in its calm, starlit embrace. The journey does not end. It simply drifts from step to step, from dream to dream, from you into sleep.